Video 3, Management and Leadership. Plan of the day, pod meeting, POD, plan of the day. And managing expectations. Every morning at work, every morning. Whether it's 5 minutes or 15 minutes, get your key people together. And you have a pod meeting, plan of the day. What does today look like? What needs to get done? How are we going to get it done? Now, if you're a larger organization, this is going to be your department heads, your top people, so that they can trickle down to their people from there. If you're a smaller organization, this might be everybody. 4 or 5 people, half a dozen people, up to a dozen people. But the pod meeting sets the pace for the day. It lets everybody know what needs to get accomplished and how we're going to do it, so that the right hand knows what the left hand is doing and you can foresee any potential conflicts or issues before they happen. And that allows you to maximize your number one resource, which is time. The less time you spend fixing mistakes, the more time you spend being productive and profitable. So it's worth 15 minutes of your day to forestall a 6-hour crisis. And it sets expectations for everybody on your team of what do I need you to accomplish? How are you going to accomplish that? Well, I can't get that done because of X, Y, and Z. All right, well, let's handle X, Y, and Z first so that we can move on to the issues at hand. We do a pod meeting every day. It's something that I picked up in the power construction industry, and I love it because everybody has at least a vague idea of what's going on, including the guys that are lower on the totem pole, okay? Your guys in the field, your boots on the ground, they don't want to be mushroomed. Mushroomed means kept in the dark and fed bull crap, okay? If you want them to have a vested interest in what you're doing, they need to know what you're doing, okay? Nobody wants to hear, it doesn't matter, just go do this. They have no context. They don't want to do this. And if they do go do that, whatever that is, they're not putting their best effort into it. They're pissed at you for yelling at them because they don't understand why it needs to get done. Now, that doesn't mean you need to give away the keys to the kingdom when you're dealing with people at that level, but you do need to give them enough that they can grab hold of and run with it. And that continues to build context. It continues to build a relationship between you and them. And it makes them feel important. And if they feel important in what they're doing, they will do it well. So, pod, plan of the day, manage expectations, talk with your people. The number one problem that companies of all sizes have is personnel. The number 2 problem is communications. We just expect other people to know what we want or what we need. And when we express that poorly, then we get mad when they don't understand. Well, my boss just doesn't understand. I really need a raise. Frankly, it's not your boss's responsibility whether or not you need a raise. You need to bring enough equity to the situation that they have no choice but to give you a raise, okay? But you need to have that conversation. We're really bad at talking with each other, and we need to get better at it as an organization, as a team. Doesn't mean you waste all day talking. Eventually that conversation has to turn into action. But it's worth 5 to 15 minutes of your day every day. Now, depending on who you are and what you do, at Vine and Branch is at the end of our pod meeting every morning, we pray in the day. We ask God for his blessing on the day. You don't have to do that. And if you want to do it, do it. This is not a religious video, but under our circumstances, it continues to create camaraderie and context for the people that are there, our employees. They understand what they're supposed to do and why they are supposed to do it. And a lot of people you will not maximize unless you give them the why. Not just the what, not just the how, but the why. Pod meeting, manage expectations, communicate.